Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Bodybuilding for Brass Players. I am Movie Kaylee G. Scott Jones, and as you can see, I'm in my band room at Thurgood Marshall STEM High School in Dayton Public Schools, Dayton, Ohio. And what I want to do today is give you an exercise I use for building endurance. So in previous videos, I talked about how to start building a powerhouse embouchure. I'm actually going to continue that with additional videos and additional exercises and more details about the exercises as we go through this series. In this one, I'm going to give you an exercise that I use and that I teach. And actually, I was just working with one of my students at Central State on a few days ago, and I said, you know what, I should put up a video about this. I'm going to sit down today because two reasons. I've been teaching all day, plus, to be honest with you, I've got the camera set up in a certain way, and I don't want to crop myself out of the image. So I know that I'm in the video now. Anyway, let's move on. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take something very similar to a Remington warm-up. Where in the Remington, for a trombone, we would go B flat, F, B flat, D, F, A flat, and then B flat. We go through each partial all the way up, similar to a lip slur. But we're not actually going to do lip slurs. We're going to start at this B flat here. We're going to go from there up in triads. So we're going to go the B flat, the 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, up into what some people call the stratosphere, the altissimo range, basically up in that screaming high range. As we get up there, if you're not comfortable with doing that, then just go for whatever you got. If you don't have even this, if you don't have this, don't do that. Do it from here. In fact, that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with today is just starting there. That'll be our first level of experience or of difficulty. First level of difficulty. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up these major triads, up to the octave, and we're going to go down. We're going to go major triads. I'm sorry. We're going to go up the major triads. We're going to go in a descending chromatic pattern. So what I mean is this: B flat. We're going to go down to the A, down a half step. We're going to keep going. If you got a trigger or a fourth valve, if you know how to do those, we're going to keep on going down. That's all right. Etc., etc. Now, we're talking about building range. Now, what's going to happen by doing that doing that exercise in a descending pattern chromatically is you're increasingly getting lower and lower, but you're going up. You're not going to go up and come back down. What you're actually doing is adding tension here over a period of the exercise, over the length of the exercise. You're adding tension. We want the lactic acid to actually come into the lips. When you're working out and you're weightlifting, we have something called the pump. The pump is that point where you've saturated your muscle with blood and you can feel, I mean, it feels like it's about to burst, okay? We don't want a muscle to burst. That actually does happen sometimes. But you go to this point where you know you have, you basically, oh my God, it's the end of the day. But when you go to the point where you have told your muscle to grow and you have inspired, I don't want to say inspired, but the word is escaping me. But you've stimulated growth, the point where you're stimulating growth. What we're doing here is we're going with the lips here. We want to have that lactic acid to stimulate growth and development in these muscles. You're going to feel tension here in the corners of the mouth. You might feel tension here as well as the lips as you go up. So to give the exercise the way, that's the first level of difficulty. We're actually going to take it to the next level of difficulty starting here. We're going to go up from there. But before we get there, you can also do this. You can do this. is still starting with that B flat here on the second partial. Now, the third level of difficulty, which is where we want to get to, is right here. Just going. Wow, I'm struggling today. We're not going to come down from there. We're just going to keep going. Or if we want to do it from the first position. Yeah.
Do you have lotion?
No. Sorry, I don't. It's in my car.
Sound good though.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I'm completely messing that one up. Etc., etc. That's the lowest. That B flat down there is, really, really low. So, a couple things you might notice for you bass trombone players out there, or trombone players with a trigger period. You see me making mistakes when I'm working on the D. Playing D in actually here with my second valve. So sometimes I still kind of get confused. I'm starting thinking, okay, which valve am I going to use? I typically prefer to use the second valve whenever I can, except for the low C. Then I play that in the first valve, and of course the B, I play in both valves with the fifth position. That all being said, when you're doing something like that, what's happening when you're doing this exercise is you're going to constantly add tension to the muscles as you go up and up and up and up. If you can't get yet, if you're not able yet to get up to those super high pitches, go up as high as you can. If you need to, do it with a piano, do it on a mouthpiece, do whatever you can. But go on up as high as you can, and then go down a half step and start over again. Then down a half step and start over again. Don't come back down. Don't do this. Etc. Don't do that. The reason why is because when you do that, you're stretching it back out. You're adding tension and then you're releasing that tension. We don't really want to, we want to gradually release tension versus immediately release the tension. So that's where we're going by now, by half step, going back, right back up. Go down a half step, go right back up, right back up, right back up. In doing that, we're causing these muscles to grow. We're stimulating growth. We're stimulating growth, which is going to help us with control, going to help us with endurance long term. And those high notes, don't worry about playing them real loud. Just tap them. Just get them. And if you aim for them and you don't get them immediately, you will get them eventually. So after you've done all that, guess what? Then you start releasing the tension. What's up there? See. Tonguing anything, okay? You can, but I'm not really tonguing anything. I'm just hitting the pitches and kind of coming down from there. All right. Next one. Oh, shoot. Sometimes because my mind is not really so much on, I hate to say, on the correct pitch as it is on what's going on here and other things like being aware of coming on down, hearing the intervals. I might forget what note I'm on every now and then because I want to hear that do, sol, mi, do, sol, mi, do. Sorry, my falsetto was gone for the day. But basically, that's what we're going for. You know, we want to be more, we don't want to miss a bunch of notes, but reality is it's the end of the day, and these are my first notes really of the day of my practice. So the point of this whole exercise, to wrap it up for you, is we're adding tension by going up, 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 and then going right back up, and then going right back up. Now we're doing it in a descending pattern so that we're gradually also releasing some of the tension. We don't want so much tension that we can't do the next rep or the next part. We want to continue through the whole exercise. That's why we're going down, descending chromatically. But we're also starting in first position. We're starting open, going to middle, going to first and second, second and third, etc., etc. You don't have to keep those fingerings and positions as if you're doing lip slurs. You can just play them where you naturally play them. You can do that. It doesn't really matter that much that you stay in that position. It's just, it's up to you. And then, so you're adding tension, and then you're gradually releasing that tension by coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. If you haven't noticed, this is a bass trombone. Now, my goal in these videos is never to say, ooh, be impressed, and look what I can do. But this is a pretty impressive thing to do on bass trombone, okay? And this is a Dave Taylor 1. This is not a small little, pea shooter mouthpiece. So that goes to say that this is possible. It boils down to taking your time. Go with the first level of difficulty, the second level of difficulty, the third level of difficulty. Fourth level would be to go the whole range of the instrument with each one. Etc., etc. That would be the fourth level of difficulty. Work up to that, to going through the whole range, and then coming down through the entire range. You can do the all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. You can do that, but that's not going to be the same sort of exercise. It's not the same focus as doing one and then doing the other. All right, so Hope this has been helpful. Please leave me a comment, let me know, ask me a question, comment, concern, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, thank you for checking out Bodybuilding for Brass Players. Peace.